Good evening and welcome to the City of Warrenville Community Development Committee of the Whole regular meeting on Monday, April 14th, 2025. Deputy City Clerk Gravetti, could I please have the roll call?
Mayor Brummel,
Here.
Alderman Lockett,
Here.
Alderman Ashour,
Here.
Alderman Berry. Here. Alderman Davalos. Not here. Alderman Augustinovich,
Here.
Alderman Wilkie,
Here.
Alderman Widener,
Here?
Alderman Kruckenberg.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Will everyone please stand as they're able and join me in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, now's the time we set aside for public comments. I don't have anybody that has signed up. Have you seen anything? Okay, we'll just go ahead into officials and staff members' comments, beginning with the mayor.
Thank you. I would just say that it's starting to get real. Glad to be here.
Anyone else? Okay, any staff that has any comments or anything? Okay, we'll go ahead with the business of the meeting then, and tonight's first agenda item is consideration of building code amendments for EV readiness. And we have Chief Code Official Michelle Lilly who will present this item. Welcome, Michelle.
Evening, Council. So in November of 2023, the council signed an agreement with the DuPage Mayor's Caucus, providing their support to become an EV-ready community. The third cohort of the EV readiness program began in November of 2024. Warrenville was chosen to be in that cohort, and David Romero has been heading that project. And this change in the building code supports the recommendations from the IBEW and ComEd for requiring EV charger installers to be registered with the Illinois Commerce Commission. That they have special certifications and classes and continuing education that are required for that. And they kind of track that so that the cities aren't having to verify that education for the installer's employees and the installer themselves. Staff felt that it was a good thing to require it. The program had two items you could earn points for. One was a recommendation that they are registered, and the other one was a requirement that they're registered. And we felt that the requirement was the thing to do to ensure safe installations of the chargers, because it is a complicated electrical installation. And then the only other changes to that are some definitions that go along with that specific to the EV charger installer. Those were pulled off of the ICC's website. And this item, should it be approved tonight, will be joined with the Plan Commission's recommendations for the changes to the zoning code. But this is basically one sentence and a couple definitions is outside of the purview of the zoning code.
Okay, great, thank you. Are there questions from the council? Alderman Lockett?
I'd like to make a motion to direct city attorney to prepare an ordinance requiring contractor registration with the Illinois Commerce Commission for EV charger installers.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion carries, and we're on to item number 2, consideration of amended intergovernmental agreement between the City of Warrenville and PACE. And management analyst Cassandra Hernandez Galvin will tell us about this project.
Yes, good evening. So this is the annual intergovernmental agreement with the City of Warrenville and PACE. With this new agreement, there is a The difference with this agreement is the city of Warrenville will have a little bit more of a risk as the liability coverage has been reduced in this agreement. And the city attorney has discussed the change with PACE, and PACE has acknowledged that their agreements with subcontractors has changed with their liability coverage, so they're unable to provide the coverage that we once had. So staff took that all into consideration, and as the reviewing the overall program and weighing the risks with the benefits for our senior and disabled residents. We currently have 134 registered riders, and overall, that outweighed the additional liability that the city would take on, so that we could continue this program. It's been a great program so far. This year, for fiscal year '25, we're approximately looking at about $18,000 for the total cost of the program, and we have it budgeted $30,000 for the program. For the PACE services, we're averaging about 38 rides per month, and for the rideshare portion of it, we're averaging about 110 rides per month. So overall, it's been a really good program that our residents enjoy. And so staff is recommending that City Council pass a resolution approving this IGA between PACE and the city for paratransit services.
Okay, thank you for the report. Are there questions from the council? Alderman Lockett.
I just wanted to make a comment. So many people have come up to me and program and the fact that we offer it. When PACE took the bus routes away, they all felt like, well, what are we going to do? You know, and we could see that because we've gone from 23 riders in 2020 to 134. But yet our costs last year were still kind of way down, 14,000 compared to fiscal year 2024 at 25,000. But it seems like 2024 fiscal year was kind of an anomaly because every year we've been under whatever we've planned. So the residents like it. It comes in under budget, so that means I like it too. You know, so it's just a great program. So thank you.
Are there any other questions from the council members? Alderman Kruckenberg?
I would have to also agree that the service outweighs the risk, the added risk that we're incurring, so, thank you.
Would you like to formulate that appreciation?
I would. I'd like to make a motion to recommend City Council pass a resolution approving an amended and restated intergovernmental agreement between the City of Warrenville and the Suburban Bus Division of the Regional Transportation Authority, PACE, for the provision of paratransit services.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Item number 3 is consideration of an addendum to the agreement of BS&A Software LLC for the license and implementation of municipal enterprise resource planning software. And Public Works Director Phil Kukler will introduce this item. Welcome, Phil.
Thank you and good evening. The city intends to accept online payments with the new ERP software. Originally, BS&A did not offer this service as part of their software package when the city entered into a contract with them. So the service was going to be handled with a third-party software. BS&A has since expanded their software capabilities to incorporate an integrated payment processing service. So staff and the city attorney negotiated with BS&A and modified their original proposed addendum, which was pretty simple, to clarify who's responsible for what and to incorporate a statement of work into the addendum. Stripe serves as the processor, but BS&A handles the customer service, technical support, and compliance obligations for the city. There were previously some questions asked about Stripe and some bad online reviews that they had. We did discuss that with BS&A, and they confirmed that the bad reviews were related to a different branch of the company than is being used for this service, and that was chosen by BS&A. And BS&A did choose to work with Stripe based on the technology reliability, scalability, compliance, and security, meeting BS&A's requirements for their software. At this point, staff is proposing that the city absorb the convenience fees that are associated with the with the online payments. The intent is to try to get people to use this service and pay online, pay sooner, and pay on time. As we get into it, more people sign up for it and use the service, we'll have a better idea what those costs are. And we're going to be exploring ways to offset those costs because we want to provide this service for the residents in a convenient way. With that, I'd be happy to entertain any questions.
Are there questions from council members regarding this matter? Alderman Lockett.
Yeah, just a couple things. So we don't really know estimated costs because we don't know who's going to pay credit card, who's going to do ACH, who's going to send in a check, right? We
Correct.
don't have any kind of ballpark figure.
No, not yet.
Okay. Did we budget a number, though, for fiscal year '26? Do we know if Kevin did? I thought I saw something where he had budgeted something for that.
I don't know if he did or not. I mean, right now we accept online payments of some sort, and I think if there are fees associated with those, we do absorb those fees now.
Okay,
But I don't recall specifically if he budgeted something for this.
okay. And then, reading through the addendum, is there any way to put a cap on the fees per year? Like something we could somewhat negotiate with them on? Only because they're giving us everything, right? Everything's free, no upfront costs, nothing, except for workstations or whatever they call them. So I just don't want us to get into that with them, and then all of a sudden they have us, and then they could basically charge whatever they want. And as we all know, I know that wouldn't be their intention now, but they could get bought, they could sell out, somebody could take over, you know what I mean? To where if we could some kind of negotiate some kind of rate max increase per year over the next 3 years to kind of help us, that would be great.
I don't think they'll do that. We haven't asked, but I can't imagine they'd do that because where they make their money is based on the fees per transaction.
Right.
And this is a brand new service for them to provide, so I can't imagine the next 3 years especially that they're going to be selling it. And not to say they couldn't, but
Yeah.
I can't imagine they're going to be selling it. They were looking at this, I mean, it seems like a fairly easy moneymaker for them to be able to do this. They have competition with other software, but they're not going to make it easy to use those other vendors now that they have their own. Which is part of the reason we started heading this direction, is we figured this would be actually more cost-effective and convenient than using a different vendor to do this. Because
Okay.
BSNA, if they provide the service, isn't going to make it easy for other vendors to interact with their software.
Okay. And is this a plug and play with them?
Yeah, I believe it is. Once this is, assuming this is approved by council, once it's approved and the addendum signed, they'll order the 3 processing, like terminals that they have to order. And it'll be implemented with the software, and when it's implemented at the end of April.
Do we know how many
beginning of May.
terminals we need?
3.
Oh, okay, so nothing drastic.
Nope.
Okay. The other thing was on the data ownership and retention. I think that they had said that if in the event the contract was terminated or whatnot, that Stripe would then own all of the data. Did I misunderstand that, or?
I will have to look at that closer and talk with Brooke about it.
Okay, yeah, because obviously we would like to own the data,
Yes.
right?
Well, we don't, own the data. Like, we aren't, as part of this, we're not going to be receiving credit card information ourselves. The city's not keeping or maintaining any of that data.
But we would keep the residence, the address,
Yeah.
any kind of information that they have minus the sensitive credit card information. I just wanted to make sure that we got to keep that. And then, do we know how long they store that data?
I don't know. I'd have to ask.
Okay. And then the last thing, I promise, is just that, that maybe if we could put something in there that just says that they agree not to sell that data or give it away. I know it's pretty common sense, but it just didn't say anything about that.
Okay. I'll look into those questions.
Thank you so much.
Director, I think Alderman Lockett brings up a good point. We're all kind of concerned about the service fees and charges and them going upward, and if there's anything we can do to either limit them or put a not to exceed over the years that we're signing something with them, I think it would be to everybody's agreement if we
Yeah, I
can
don't-
if we can at least approach that or look into it.
I mean,
Because the service fees, they're, they start you off at 1% and then they move you up to 2%, and then the next year it's, 4% or whatever. And if there's a way to minimize the clocking upward of the percentage of service fees, it would just be nice to, put that in writing or to somehow, limit it as much as we can, both for our residents and for the city that'll be paying for it. Are there other questions or comments? Okay. Alderman Lockett?
I'd like to make a motion to recommend the city council pass a resolution approving an addendum to the agreement with BS&A Software LLC for payment processing services.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Next item is to review and file the Old Town redevelopment site number 2 requests for proposals, and Community and Economic Development Director Amy Emery is here if anyone has any questions regarding this report or item. Okay, seeing none, we'll go on to item number 5, which is to review and file the always interesting bi-monthly code enforcement activity report. Are there any comments that anyone would like to make or questions that they have regarding the world record number of signs we've collected or anything? Almost? Okay. All right, seeing none, we'll go on to our last item, and that's to review and file the fiscal year 2025 Community Development Work Plan update. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Director Emery, who has a few comments for us. Director.
Thank you. I know it's an FYI item, but we can't have a community development committee the whole meeting where I don't say something. So, no, in all seriousness, I just wanted to highlight a couple of things and introduce a new staff member to you. In terms of the highlight, this is the last fiscal year work plan report for fiscal year 25 from Community Development. And as you look through that report, you'll see we've made great strides in all 3 tiers. I'm really exceptionally proud of the team this year and all of the efforts they've put in every category. There are some things that are ongoing, as there are every year, and there's some things that are not started. That doesn't mean they're not priorities and they won't appear in the work plan going forward, but there's a lot of completed on there. And in this year especially, we were short-staffed for a lot of the year, so they worked really hard to accomplish each of those items, and I wanted to make sure I took a moment to point that out. Our next Community Development Committee of the Whole meeting will not be until July. We changed the schedule, as you recall, so we can lock in our focus on a successful ERP testing and launch period that begins in 2 weeks. Ooh, we're very excited as a team about that. So at the July meeting, we will present to you for the first time the fiscal year 26 work plan update. And in it, as you know, as we've been sharing that document, there's a lot of new economic development initiatives in there, focused on sustaining businesses that we have now, filling empty retail spaces that we're seeing in the community, and also revitalizing and recruiting new businesses to the community, as well as taking on officially the business licensing program. We've been talking about that moving from finance to community development for a while, and the ERP rollout makes that happen. And when we take that on, we won't just be administering a license or a registration every year, but we're going to give our businesses more bang for their buck. They're going to be getting some educational resources available to them, opportunities for new marketing and initiatives and participation in events that they may not have considered or were not here before. And how is that possible? Well, that's possible because we have a brand new, first time ever economic development specialist here in the city of Warrenville. His name is Liam Walker. He's here joining us this evening. Liam joins us from Wooster, Ohio, where he was working at the university as the Assistant Director of Regional and Multicultural Engagement after earning his bachelor's in business economics. He also, among his prior work experiences, worked as an analyst at JP Morgan Chase for a period of time. Liam, I can tell you, has already been hard at work on those items that are in the fiscal year 26 work plan. He has been meeting folks in our region, as you've been reading in the economic development plan, forming some new partnerships and alliances, looking at how these organizations can serve our community better. He's developed a survey instrument or a draft of it, working to get that out in the summer, maybe early fall, as we're licensing and registering these new businesses to find out what they need and what they want. And he's been enhancing our reporting and information that will be coming to you using new technology, including AI, which we are exceptionally excited about leveraging that to make us more efficient in what we do. And as we're learning, be competitive with our comparable communities who are already using AI for some things that we weren't before. So with that, I wanted to take the opportunity to officially introduce Liam, and I also wanted to thank the council for your support in making the changes that we proposed to the community development staff to create the space to have an economic development specialist here. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and it sounds like he's hit the ground running. I hope we're all ready for all his productivity. And we all welcome you, Liam Walker, to the city of Warrenville, and hope you find the work enjoyable and have a challenging time here, developing new things for us. So welcome. I don't know, if, Mayor, would you like to say something?
So Liam, I heard Ohio University. Are we talking the Ohio State?
Oh, no, we're talking the College of Worcester in Worcester, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was just going to say go Bucks if that
Oh, yeah.
was the case.
And I have one last thing. The person to my left, Mayor Brummel, has been kind of riding along with me for almost 20 years on the Community Development Committee. And this will be the last meeting that he'll be attending, since we won't be meeting in July. He might just stop in and sit in the audience and observe our handiwork. But I just want to say it's been a pleasure, and I admire all your service and dedication to the city of Warrenville. And I'll probably have more to say as time goes on and we reach closure on May 15th. But thank you for all you've done. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And with that, we have no other business. And one item, Alderman Lockett.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Hey, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.